Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Your Delusional podcast hosted by myself, LaTerra Wair. As you guys can see, I have put up the photos in here. So I'm really working on making the pod room a pod room, but the pod room is also like my guest bedroom and everything like that. So it's like a little journey. It's an experience, right? I got these really pretty photos. It's all gonna make sense, I think, once it makes sense. I need to get like a wider lens so that you guys can see all the photos. It's really, for the listeners, let me describe. It's really like I'm going for a kind of like vintagey, earthy kind of tone type ish, you know? And yes, it's kind of hard with like the lighting and stuff. So everything looks a little weird if you're a listener, but bear with me. But hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Your Delusional podcast. Hi, how is your week? I hope that you guys are having a good week. I've learned so much news from people. Like, people are getting really good news this week, and things are coming out really well for a lot of people. This week for me has been very interesting. I'm actually very nervous about a class that I'm taking. And when I say that I'm nervous in the sense of like, not that I'm going to pass the class. I think that I'm going to pass the class and be fine in that realm of things. I think that I'm more so just nervous about the grade I'm going to make. I preferably would like to make A's throughout my entire graduate schooling career. And that's just a personal choice because I didn't really care too much during my undergrad about like academics necessarily. And it's something that I like care a little bit more about now. And so I really do care about the grades I'm making, but I don't know if I'm gonna pull this one out. I just turned in an accounting project and my teacher, she was like, yeah, we can meet because there's problems on literally every single page of this like spreadsheet I turned in. And I'm like, girl, I don't even know where to start. That's pretty much been the only thing going on in my week. I've been very productive this week with my freelance stuff. I've been super productive, getting a lot of stuff scheduled, getting videos done. I'm trying to learn how to do some keying things for this ATEM switcher that I'm using. Today, I wanted to talk to you guys about something a little bit more lighthearted because we've been talking about things that are really serious here on the pod, right? And I don't talk about super serious things in my everyday life. I think during this season, I just feel a little bit more serious, so I tend to talk about things a little bit more seriously. But let's break the ice a little bit here. I wanted to kind of talk about something, I guess it's serious, but not too serious to me, is the how you say, the internet use, right? I lately have been seeing people, and I think in seeing like the kids and stuff around me grow up with like more tech and all that kind of stuff. And I'm not a like anti-tech person by any means, you know, that's kind of what I thrive in, to be very honest. I've been thinking just about like tech and how tech really has a lot to do in my life, more so just like social media. Because someone else said this, and at first I thought it was just me. I was on Instagram the other day, and one of my mutuals was talking about how every time they open the app, it's just random, like, it's random naked women, random, like, you know, those little like booby bouncing videos and stuff like that, and all those kinds of stuff. And it's not something that they're geared for. Usually, if someone says this, I think you're probably just looking up stuff that, you know, thrives in that area or whatever, and that's what that is. But then I also know someone who told me, and I've seen for myself, that their entire For You page is just violence, like people getting killed, people going and like looting people, all these like these random crime videos and stuff like that. And in my 4K life, I have also seen, anytime I log into my Instagram, it be crazy depressing stuff. Like, not depressing as in, it used to be stuff about like the wars and all this kind of stuff that is going on, and that is something that is still going on, and people should pay more attention to the things that are in the world, and we shouldn't, just accept people being mistreated. But it was stuff like, there is this guy who is, he recently has started becoming viral because he talked about his child and his wife both passing away, and then like his grief journey. And my For You page is full of people on their grief journeys and stuff like that. And I'm saying this retroactively, because I know that I talk to you guys about like grief and stuff like that, and it may seem like this is something I talk about all the time, but I'll be in a really good place. Like currently right now, I'm in a super good place and all this kind of stuff. And my For You page went from being about like matchas and this and this to just being about grief stories again. And I'm like, bro, I'm not even on that. And so like, I think that sometimes you can get on social media and not know, but then like everything that you're seeing is literally something that's crazy. And when the people be like, it be them damn phones, like, and this is something that everybody's saying right now, it really do be them damn phones. I think that social media has a thing and a place for sure in everyone's heart, and it is one of those comfort objects, especially for people who have had it and grown up with it throughout the years. That's totally cool and all. You know what I mean? That's totally cool. And when it's you being used for good things or being used for like learning purposes and all this kind of stuff, like I think that's a beautiful thing. And I'm not saying that people sharing their grief and loss stories is not like a learning opportunity, because it can help someone else that is going through something similar to that. But I'm saying that I think that the way that the algorithm and the For You page and stuff like that is formatted needs to be tweaked a little bit, because I think there is no way that 90% of my For You page should be grief. That means you were pulling all of these things, and I'm like, I'm not the strongest soldier, right? Like please don't do that to me. That's really how I've been feeling. And I really thought I was the only one going through that, y'all. I really thought that I was the only one who was sitting here being like bombarded with these random, super serious topics on my social media. And I think that lately, the social media app that I tend to gravitate towards is a little YouTube myself personally. On there, you can subscribe to things, and it kind of formats the suggestions around things that you legitly are watching or that you're actually subscribed to. So it sends you more things like that, instead of just like, I guess, Instagram's algorithm, where you can just get whatever low key. And like Twitter or X, it's even worse. You could just get whatever. You'd be getting very explicit things there. Have you guys noticed an increase of your pages doing that? Like, I felt like at first it was only a couple of pages or a couple of times a year I would notice this, but recently I feel like it's been very, very, very often. So have you guys noticed that it's been more often for y'all, or do y'all think that it's just kind of like a, it is what it is, or you're just seeing what you're looking up? I don't know. Also, y'all, speaking of the topic, I was thinking the other day, I really be in these moods, right? And then there's just times where I really want to post certain like captions, and I want to post like song captions, but I think that the era of us posting song captions is like kind of dead. Like, and I feel like also too, unpopular opinion, your social media is your social media. So if that's your vibe, like you should be able to post your vibe, And I get that, but it's also easy to be influenced because everybody else is not posting like song lyrics all the time. But like, I want to make Instagram great again. Like, I really want to post song lyrics and captions all the time and have a good time, because it just felt like Instagram was very unserious. It was very fun. Like, now it's very fun, and it feels like ad heavy in a way, but it feels ad heavy in a very personalized ad heavy way. It's kind of like you get to pick who you want to be your spokesperson. Like, if you follow someone who's like, I'm a hair creator on my Instagram feed, and so on Instagram, it's a very it feels like people who follow me for hair content, they have selected me to be the person that brings them the latest new products kind of thing. Like, that's kind of what Instagram feels like. And I just miss seeing the people go out with their friends and take the blurry photos with the aesthetics, you know, and the song captions. Like, and maybe because that's what I want to do. And I feel like I'm going to be judged by doing that. Do y'all feel that way? Like, what's something that you guys miss about like an era of life? Like on a social media platform, whatever social media platform it is, like let's go back in history a little bit. I was a Tumblr girl down. I still get notifications to this day about somebody following me on Tumblr. I feel like it's definitely bots and stuff now, but I was a Tumblr girl down. I loved coding. I loved back-end coding. I loved getting to just like meet so many different people on Tumblr, because to me, Tumblr was one of those social media platforms that like you could be a cool Tumblr person, but everything was very niche. Everything was very like your aesthetic, and people really just liked you for your aesthetic, you know? Tumblr reminds me a lot of like old Coachella days. Tumblr reminds me of very 2012 time, when I feel like that was a time to be alive, to be honest with you. So that's what Tumblr kind of reminds me of. And I think that that was a good era of life for me. I think that was a very fun time in life. A girlie was depressed during that time of life, because that's also the thing. Tumblr would grab the girls who was going through something by their pearls, girl. Like their pearls. It would have you in the clutches for real. But I think that Tumblr was a very good time. And I miss that time of life. I miss when like Instagram and Tumblr were like those girls, you know, like that was such a good time. Everything was so fun. Everything wasn't as serious. I kind of hate how everything is so serious these days, to be very honest with you. Like it just doesn't feel as fun. And I think that that's what makes social media kind of an escape. Like I think social media went from being one of these things that people got onto to have fun, to just sit there and kind of like just unwind, to being one of those things that people use to work. And it became like an unwinding to like I'm stuck in here now. And so I think that because I am a freelancer and I do like content creation, in my day-to-day, I don't usually try to be on the internet. I try and do things like watching TV, or I go to the gym in the morning and do all this kind of stuff, because I just feel like when I'm on my phone so much, it just be making me a little saddy. And I think it's just because it's changed. Like social media definitely has been one of those things that has changed. And I'm not saying it's changed for the worse or anything like that. I'm not an anti-social media girly, but I definitely do think that it has changed a little bit. What was one of y'all's favorite social media times? Like tell me what the time frame was, what apps you were using, and why it was your favorite time. I would love to know that in the comments. One of the great things coming out of social media, which is what's going to get us into topic 2, is I think that it's super cool getting to have a parasocial relationship with people. I know that I talk about this a lot, but I really enjoy having parasocial relationships. I think that I am someone who's dove into a lot of YouTube social media specifically lately, and it's so cool getting to see all the lives that people lead. For a long time, like because I'm the only one around me who really does this kind of thing, or I was the only one around me who really did this kind of thing, it felt as if I just lived in this bubble. And it's really cool getting to experience and see other people that also live in this bubble, but live outside of this bubble, if that makes sense. So that's one of the really cool things that social media has definitely done for me and for my life, and getting to see some of you guys, getting to talk to some of you guys. When I met my first sub in real life, I was like, that's crazy. Like, it was kind of scary. For sure, it was a little nerve-wracking, but it was really kind of crazy just to get to see that. And, you know, so that's something that's super cool. And social media is one of those things that it's really cool getting to see the things that you're happy about in life that other people are also experiencing, or that other people are also going through, or that you get to see people who are just like you maybe, and then if they're a little older or they're like a little younger, and you sing just things the way life plays out at different times for different people. I think that's something that is super cool to see. That's something that I've been experiencing lately, and also getting to see how many different people live different walks of life. I've realized that everyone's YouTube viewing experience is different based off what you watch. Like when I go to my page, it's a lot of like lifestyle content, cooking content, people doing like different hair things, or talking about like just life change and growth, because that's the kind of stuff that I'm into, and those are the kind of people that I follow, right? When I look at my brother's page, his page is a lot of like reactionary stuff, or it's a lot of like different TV watching things that he likes to watch, or just maybe videos that I see him watching all the time, and that's all his page is, but it has nothing that my page has. And so then it makes me realize there are so many videos out there that like they really are tailored for people, and a lot of people will not see the same videos at all. Like my brother came to me about a YouTube creator who I've been following for probably like 2-3 years now. And I was like, oh yeah, I follow this girl. And he was like, that's crazy. And I think that's so crazy that she's just now popping up into his algorithm, but she was heavily in my algorithm 3 years ago, right? But now she's not heavily in my algorithm, but she is popping up into his algorithm. So I think stuff like that is really crazy, and just getting to like explore those types of things. And then like you have videos like the Soft White Underbelly channel, and it's very serious, very heavy, very hard to watch sometimes. And I think those are things for me that I'm like, oh, this is real life, like crime documentary reporting. Like the other day, I found myself watching a little interview from the 80s about the crack epidemic. And I was like, oh my God, how did I get here, right? I just be sitting there and like, how did I get here? And I think social media is so cool for that, to be honest, that you can learn such a vast variety of things. And that's definitely one of the upsides. There's a lot of bad stuff that happens on the internet for sure. Definitely a lot of bad stuff that happens on the internet. But I think that I like to live within the in-between of that. For me, social media, specifically like short form social media stuff, I think is my downfall, because I feel like I'm consuming so much, and I just have a probability of seeing so many things that make me feel a lot of different ways personally. And so it's not always my jam, or I try and keep it very minute. That is why I don't have a TikTok. Not getting into that, because I'd be getting bullied about that. But that's why I don't really have a TikTok. I think that I'm not a super like... I really like long form content myself personally. I like getting to sit down and know people. And even when I'm watching short form content, if I'm going to someone's page, I really like to go dive deep into someone's page and watch a lot of videos. And for me, sometimes it feels weird, because I'm like, I just watched all your content and like I didn't follow you or nothing, but truly it was because I really just wanted to know more, and I have to watch so much of your stuff to know more about you. Whereas long form stuff, I feel like I get to just watch maybe 2-3 videos of someone and really catch the vibe and catch if I like watching them. And that's where I thrive personally. And so TikTok, she's not my jam just for that, even though it's definitely very beneficial and all this kind of stuff. And I get that. But my short form girlies, I love posting Instagram content. I just miss when Instagram was great for real. And I think that's something that kind of detours me sometimes. But like detours. Yeah. But yeah. And that's kind of that though. But with all that being said, y'all do follow me on Instagram at the LaTerra Wair. And I do post on there. I'm talking all this crap, but like I do post on there for real. I really love Instagram. It was my favorite social media girly. But yes. Moving forward though, this is gonna be a short episode today, but moving forward, let's get into our You're Delusional. Our You're Delusional this week is actually coming from a very fun conversation that I had with someone. And it is that you cannot be someone who is wholesome, but also someone who is very experienced in a realm of dating, let's say. I disagree. I think that you can be someone who is very experienced in dating and other maneuvers and also be someone who's a very wholesome person. I think that being wholesome is something that is a moral thing, and you can be wholesome throughout your whole life. And that doesn't mean that you haven't like dated or like been very sexually liberated or like anything like that. So I think that the two things can coexist. I think that people who say you can't be someone who is wholesome and very experienced with others is kind of wild, because I think that more so just depends on the person that you were talking to or dating, experiencing yourself. But let me know what you guys think about that topic or that idea. And if you agree or disagree, it's fine, but just let us know what you think. Moving forward into our What We Watching. So this week, keeping up with the Halloween theme, this week's What We Watching is going to be Jeepers Creepers. I actually just watched this movie the other day, and I think I'm going to get the Jeepers Creepers tattoo that Derry has on his stomach. So I'll insert a photo. But yeah, what do you guys think? Okay. But yeah, so let me know what you guys are watching. Let me know what your Halloween favorites are. I'm really into these mini series right now, or limited series. So if you're watching any of those, also let me know that. And yes, but with all that being said, thank you guys so much. We are at the last bits of our episode today. If you are someone who is interested in following and learning more about the podcast, you can follow our production company at LT Legacy Productions. If you want to follow me personally, you can follow me at the LaTerra Wair on my social media platforms. And if you're a listener, please be sure to rate the podcast up above. Let us know how you are liking it. And if you're a viewer, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And let us know your thoughts in the comments. But with all that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching another episode of the You're Delusional podcast, and I will see you next week. The You're Delusional podcast is produced by LT Legacy Productions and hosted by LaTerra Wair.